Welcome back, everybody. My name's A Predator54, aka Adam, coach of the McChesney Park Slowpokes, and today I bring you the draft analysis for Season 2 of Battle Hub Draft League. Last season's champion was Raymond, and the MVP was Sandy Shocks, Terra Grass. Absolutely trolled everybody, so in honor of that, we made a new server logo with that on it. And without further ado, we changed a few things in this season. Uh, we changed it to 100 points instead of 120. It's still 9 to 11 Pokemon. It's 1 to 3 Terra Captains. But instead of 23-point limit, we have an 18-point limit. And 10 point below can Terra. And it's Open Terra as well. Last season it was 14 and below, so we heavily nerfed it. This draft was 16 coaches. I was picked number 7, and I was between the best not really and Emerald Miner was before me. And yeah, Emerald kind of scoped it the way my draft would go, because he almost sniped me every single round except for the last one going into me. But I cannot complain with the end team and what I have received because I get to try something fun. Granted, it's not 100% the end all be all perfect team, but hey, it's my style. And I'm going to see if this works. First overall pick, we have Ursaluna Blood Moon for 16 points. This home render, well, it's a blender model, was done by Bread Pudding Official. I appreciate you for this. But Ursaluna Blood Moon is basically, well, I'm going to say it straight right here, right now. The theme of this draft, because I was voted on and told to be done by my coworkers, is drugs. I'm going to get flagged probably for this, but regular Ursaluna was Coke Bear. This is Meth Head Bear. And yeah, kids, say no to drugs because you don't want to be like this towering behemoth. Just cracked out to all hell with special attack. This gets access to Moonlight, Vacuum Wave, Blood Moon, which is a normal type Gigaton Hammer, base 140, and can't be used in succession. But what makes this thing absolutely broken is just how defensively bulky it is. And you slap an AV on this, it just lives hits for days. That and just being able to just blow through things even with an assault vest is absolutely monstrous. Being normal ground, this thing has quite a few weaknesses. It's weak to its opposing vacuum waves, but the biggest hindrance to this mon is its 52 base speed, but it is slightly faster than regular Ursaluna, and Vacuum Wave and access to Moonblast is absolutely amazing on this mon. Pick off dragons, pick off steel types that want to oppose it, but the best thing about this mon is its new ability called Mind's Eye. Normal and fighting moves can hit ghost types, and it ignores accuracy. So you're saying if they minimize the +6, Blood Moon's always going to hit. That is literally busted. But yeah, I look forward to using Ursaluna for 16 points. And next, we hop on into a mon I've been waiting for its return, and I've been waiting almost 2 years to draft. We have Star Child, which is Jirachi, aka Angel Dust. Yeah, Jirachi can grant several wishes, and it is amazing. Granted, I wish this thing had a form where its eyes always open on its chest, which would be absolutely beautiful. But the fact that this thing has Future Sight, Doom Desire, access to Trick Room, both screens, Coverage galore, and the ability Serene Grace makes it a phenomenal Pokemon. And I think 13 points is still incredibly cheap, considering Serene Grace doubles the effects of secondary moves. Granted, Covert Cloak is a thing now, and this is not a league with item clause, so I can run into 6 Covert Cloaks. Hey, I can still hit you. I can still, I believe, I'm gonna have to double check. I'm not sure if we banned King's Rock, but I can still go for the flinch. Because you can't ignore the item effects, but you can ignore the Serene Grace with Covert Cloak. But yeah, Jirachi gets access to Wish, Healing Wish, so much support. Gets access to Thunder Wave. It's just an absolutely phenomenal Pokemon, and I cannot wait to use this mon. Granted, I sniped a few people. So many people for taking this. And I'm sorry in advance for that, but Jirachi is well worth the points. Alright, so I have bulky defensive tank, base 100 in every stat. Now let's make things a little bit scary. 10-point Alolan Ninetales was incredibly cheap. This is a fast Aura setter. This even gets access to Encore, Moonblast, Freeze Dry, Ice Shard for the ×4 weak mons. Even gets access to Aqua Tail, which can be a good physical water move, which mons like Rotom Heat do not expect, and you can just 2-tap it. That is incredibly good. Being able to set the snow for 8 turns with Icy Rock or have Aura Veil for 8 turns with Light Clay is absolutely phenomenal. Granted, its special attack is not the greatest in the world, but it can still do some damage. It's mainly here for support, and Freeze Dries for the bulky water types, just so I can get some damage off and be a sponge. Granted, this is ×4 weak to steel. That might be a little bit of a hindrance, but Jirachi resists rock and steel, which this thing can pivot out from, and now Jirachi's a problem. And this is neutral to fighting, same with Jirachi, and then Blood Moon's weak to fighting, but realistically, these can pivot into each other, because who wants to deal with a Trailblaze Ursaluna behind Aura Veil? Absolutely no one. That's just terrifying. And if Jirachi got Trailblaze, that would be amazing, but hey, it is what it is. But still, Jirachi's still fast at the base 100, so we'll see what goes on with this. This is base 109 speed, so that is incredibly good. But yeah. This is, well, cocaine, apparently. That's what they decided on. This is cocaine because of the white snow, aka white powder. And next, we have Ceruleds. This is the surgeon that performs the autopsies, apparently, according to my friends. So, if you die from an overdose, this is going to see what happened. This mon got Poltergeist. Holy crap, that is phenomenal. Before it just had Shadow Claw, now it has a base 110 Ghost move that's 90% accurate that can just plaster teams. This has access to Weak Armor and Flash Fire. This even gets access to Solar Blade. This gets access to Bitter Blade, which can basically be a fire type Drain Punch, which is phenomenal. Flash Fire for Sun matchups. It's based in case I face regular Ninetales or Torkoal. Swap this in, get a free boost, Bitter Blade off. This is just 1 point shy of being a Terra Captain. And yeah, it's kind of saddening. But hey, I look to put in work with this mon. That it also gets access to Dragon Claw and Close Combat as well, so we can hit a lot of things. overall, the Mon is incredibly good with access to Sword Stance and Shadow Sneak. I look forward to using this Mon. And next, we hop into Vikavolt. This is speed. Because you get hyper and jittery when you take speed. And what does Vikavolt like to do in the air? Just dart around, especially in Gen 8. I don't know if it does it in Gen 9, but hey, if I start zooming around, zipping left and right, it's alright. This is my web setter. This gets access to agility. I believe it gets access to light screen and reflect as well, so this can also be a setup mon. Flash cannon, bug buzz, energy ball, all incredibly good. Mud shot for the mons like Magnezone is really good as well. That and just being bulky and only weak to rock and fire because I am levitate ability is amazing. And most rock types do not want to stay on this. And I can volt switch out on a lot of things to gain momentum. Vikavolt, I look forward to using you again. It's been a while. I believe I have you in UNPL as well, and I'm sorry I haven't brought you, but I will bring you to this league a lot. Next, we have Samurai. And for some reason, my points thing didn't drift down and remain the same size. This is really pissing me off. But this is the Rusty Heroin Needle, voted by my friends. Yeah, I'm so getting flagged for this whole entire video. I might get copyrighted too, or just flagged in general. But 13 points, Hisuian Samurott with knockoff useless adds access to flip turn now for momentum is incredibly amazing. I can't wait to see what this mon can do. And I believe this also gets Vacuum Wave, which is incredibly interesting. And so does Saraledge and Ursulina Blood Moon. So I have special priority in 3 mons on my team, which is amazing because I have physical priority as well. Because this thing also gets Sucker Punch and Aqua Jet. So my opponent has to prepare for both physical or special, because there's really only a 10-point difference between this mon's special and physical attack. And sharpness boosts moves like Air Slash, which this mon gets, which is incredibly good. This gets access to Taunt, gets access to free spikes with Ceaseless Edge, and I can't wait to finally try this mon. I have not used it yet. I've been trying to get it for a while now. And that is Hisuian Samurott. Next, we have Wheezing, aka Chloroform. Neutralizing Gas, Levitate, and Stench are all good abilities. Especially if you want to go for flinch hacks with the moves like Beat Up that this mon, I believe, still gets. You have that 6 chances to make your opponent flinch, which is funny. Even though this isn't the fastest thing in the world. Having neutralizing gas in the face of a mon like Shen Pao to turn off its ability is amazing, and you have an AV, and you can be physical to just absolutely blow back the Shen Pao with a rock fighting or ground move, which I believe this gets all of those. It gets more special coverage though. But being able to Will-O-Wisp and Pain Split my opponent and just be a bulky wall is absolutely amazing for a poison type. That and the ground immunity. Okay, so now I'm only weak to Psychic. Let's have fun. Okay, you can't hit me. Alright, I'm just gonna be cancerous. Wheezing, I haven't used you in about probably longer than Jirachi. I believe I had you in my beginning draft leagues and I was heavily annoying with you. So maybe I can be annoying again. But only time will tell. But we gotta hop into our next mon, which is our first Terra Captain, Phalanx. Phalanx gained high horsepower, knockoff, Trailblaze, and yeah, it gained those moves with the DLC. This mon still has access to First Impression, Iron Head, X Scissor, Close Combat, Bulk Up, Shadow Claw. Basically can do anything it needs to coverage wise, but what makes this mon so good is Battle Armor. Terra Fairy, Walls, Urshifu Rapid Strikes, Wicked Blow. Sorry, Terra Water, Walls, Surging Strike. Because it can't be crit. And then Terra Fairy, Walls, Wicked Blow. Also can't be crit. Meowscarada can't crit me with Flower Trick. So on and so forth. But this also gets Defiant, which is really good. Especially with Sticky Webs. You can run Defiant, White Herb, come in on Sticky Webs, get the +2 in attack, then White Herb activates, removes the speed drop. Now you can no retreat, get to +3 and +1 and everything else, and just start spamming moves. That is incredibly good. No retreat has drawbacks though. I cannot swap. I can be circle throwed out, roared out, or whirlwind out, or I believe dragon tailed out, but I cannot switch myself. That is a double-edged sword. 4 points was incredibly cheap for this, and I look forward to seeing what Phalanx can do. Especially with access to bulk up and Swords Dance as well. And first impression to just blow back mons like Meowscarada and just hammer things while Terra Bug is funny. That and this thing, its Terror Crown is goddamn massive. I don't know if anybody's seen the Terra Steel one, but the axe is like 4 times the size of Phalanx, which is hilarious. And it's basically a meme pick at this point. Next, we have Braviary, a mon I was tempted to make a Terra Captain because I had leftover points by the time everything's decided. But this also has access to Defiant as well. You're not going to want to defog on me because I can swap on it into this and get the boost. This also has access to Sheer Force and Kenai. Sheer Force boosts its moves that have secondary effects. You can pair it with Life Orb and just hammer away. This thing is normal flying, gets access to defog, tailwind, bulk up, agility, even close combat. Rock slide, then headbutt is pretty good. Granted, it has just enough coverage to be brought during the weeks, but it does not have perfect coverage. That's why it's 6 points. Its counterpart, Hisuian, was 8 points in our draft because that thing's bonkers with tinted lens. But this thing can still put in work, especially behind webs, which is incredibly good for this Pokemon. I look forward to using Braviary again, and I hope to have some success with it. And then we have our next Terra Captain, which is Lowland Sandslash, aka Bath Salts. Oh, Phalanx was our the crackheads you don't want to meet in a dark alley. Braviary is our drug delivery bird. And Alolan Sandslash is bath salts. Because, yeah, throw one of these bad boys in the water and you're good to go. You can have a nice chilly bath. Probably salty, too. You never know. Its claws are probably made out of salt. We'll roll with it. But this being a Terra Captain, even though it's times 4 week to fighting and fire, I can take advantage of that. I can become Ghost. I can become Fire. Or I can become Dragon. Resist a lot of things. And then with Slush Rush, access to Swords Dance, Ice Shard, Earthquake, Iron Head. Even gets access to Gyro Ball if I want to run a slow variant. It is incredibly good, and I'm kind of curious to see how offensive this can be. At this point in the draft, I had the points to get Terra Sea Titan if I wanted to, and I could have been a menace. But because, yeah, Sea Titan got knockoff, this also gained knockoff. So this is going to be incredibly interesting. I haven't double checked to see if the spawn gets freeze dry or not, but it's got base 25 special attack. I ain't doing that at all. This is just pure attacking. But yeah, I look forward to using Basalts, aka the Lowland Sand Slash, and to see what it can do. Last but not least, I'm surprised this even existed, but there is an online site called Apple Discount Drugs, where you can order your prescription medication and they can deliver it to you. So we have Flapple. Flapple is the last Terra Captain. With access to Mormons having gravity, like Jirachi for example, I now have hustle moves that can't miss for a few turns. I can do gravity red card, bounce out, bring this in, and start just hammering away. That, with this also being a Terra Captain, there's opens the door to Ripen ability and Gluttony. Like, say I am Terra DD and I'm Lychee Berry to raise my attack. I think it's 1 stage or it's Lychee Berry 2. But I can Dragon Dance, eat the hit, have Ripen hit, gained +2 additional attack, so now I'm +3, +1 speed, with access to Sucker Punch, Dual Wing Beat, Grav Apple. It's all I need. And start hammering away at you. I even get access to Terra Blast now, so I can become the typing that I just changed to. You can even run Terra Ice Snowball to bait in your opponent. And now you have Dragon Dance with Hustle, plus a +1 attack, and from the Snowball, and now your +3 attack. In Gravity, landing hits. That is absolutely amazing. Granted, this is going to be really funny to pull off, and I can't wait to use Flapple and see what it can do. And I believe my week 1, I play the Terra Appleton. So it's going to be the Apple face-off. And that is going to be incredibly hype and hilarious. But anyways, hopefully you guys like the team. Tell me what you think down below. Like and subscribe if you haven't. And enjoy. And say no to drugs, kids.